Hello everyone and happy Friday. Yes, I have a gigantic plaster on my face in case you're wondering what that purple blob was. So today I figured I'd do more of like a vloggy video showing you how I set up behind the scenes for some of the games I'm going to be playing. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in a post, but next week's game or next week's video is going to be the vampire book that I bought from UK Games Expo. So yeah, I'm just going to be showing you my setup for that, how I'm filming it, and basically like figuring out the game and taking you through it. So by the time I go to play it, there won't be that much, I suppose, explanation around it. I can just get into it, know what I'm doing. Of course, I'll do a brief intro about how to play the game, but it'll be a lot more succinct and tight rather than me rambling and flicking through the book and not knowing what I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully it should be a bit smoother. So this, in case you're interested, is my sort of, I suppose, gaming table. So here is the book, Dracula Curse of the Vampire. I'm going to be using my glass calligraphy pen, much like 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, which I recommend you watch. It's a good little game. And here is the character sheet, actually, that is also featured in the book. And this will help me document my, I suppose, characters' stats and health, similar to, I suppose, D&D. So yeah, can't wait to get playing. This is also my new ring light, as my other one broke, so it's a bit of a chunkier one. And yeah, I think this is called a cold shoe mount, so it makes it a lot easier to attach much more weightier cameras to it. But yeah, still figuring it out, believe it or not. It's quite a complex ring light, lots of settings, but it's good for what I need now, so can't complain. What I also have in mind for today as well is to do some client work, as I'm still a writer by day or copywriter by day. So I'll get some of that done. And I might also work on some Patreon stuff in the background. So like my conflict worksheet. So that will be hopefully uploaded some point at the end of this week. So yeah, lots to be getting on with. I've also got some shorts content that I'm planning out and hoping to film soon. What I actually want to do, similar to my 1,000-Year-Old Vampire game, is I might crack out my Vampire Mini. This is also my Curse of Strahd game. I'm not sure if you've seen the short yet, but I did a whole unboxing on that. So that's pretty cool. So I'll be doing a solo campaign of that in the future at some point. Probably not anytime soon, because it's going to require a hell of a lot of planning and time to film. But it's definitely on the cards now. Now I've got a lovely revamped box set to work with. So yeah, if I grab this wee guy and get him ready next to the book. Now in terms of playing a game, I do actually want to use my writing desk, but I need to work out how far up I need to move the ring light and the camera, because I've noticed this a few times on my videos, is if the writing desk is too close to my camera, it goes in and out of focus when I start writing. So yeah, I need to figure that out. But yeah, it's a super useful thing to have, as I store quite a lot of my games in it already, and it just makes things a lot easier to get to. So as you can see here, I've got some of my blood splatter dice. I've got my little travel gamers pack where I have dice and a pack of cards. I've got a bigger pack of cards there. My tumbling tower using outliers, which uses, I think, the Wretched and Alone system. So yeah, it's a pretty useful thing to have. I'm just still trying to figure out how to feature it more on my videos. I'm going to try and see if I can move the clamp. Yeah, I'm just concerned that clamp won't be able to be attached as strongly, let's say, the higher up I move it. But we'll see. This is what this video is about. It's all about work in progress. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to use my writing desk in this video, because it's got a lovely little place to put like an inkwell and stuff as well. Very sort of vintage feel about it, especially when I edit and put the vignette on. I think it'd look quite good. So yeah, it's holding quite secure. I was going to film me moving it, but I didn't have the camera on, and to be honest, it wasn't that exciting. It was just literally me unscrewing that and moving it up and screwing it back in. So yeah, at this distance, I hopefully shouldn't get any like zoom in distortions when I'm writing. Says the ink that I'll be using, my calligraphy pen, the wee little vampire miniature that I tend to have on my desk when I'm playing anything vampiric. And there's the book. Oh, I also need the character sheets that can go on top. Actually, I'm not sure will it fit in there. So okay, don't close on me. Ah, it does. Excellent. Okay, so I can put that in there. Yeah, so that's all lovely and tidy now. Ready for me to play the game. Hello again. It's next day, or night, should I say, and I'm working on my conflict worksheet that will be on my Patreon end of this month. So, yeah, the first page sort of describes what conflict is, then I sort of explain the differences between internal and external conflict, then talk about how, like, interesting stories have a bit of both. Then I explain the 6 types of conflict with a, let's just say like a Dungeons and Dragons storyline or hook with the potential stakes that are involved. So we have obviously character versus self, character versus nature, character versus character, character versus technology, character versus supernatural, and character versus society. So yeah, the next thing that I'm going to be doing with this is creating some tables. So I'd have like a D6 table where you could roll for different types of conflict, and within those types of conflict I may have other tables shooting off just to give you more sort of storytelling ideas. So yeah, hopefully it should be really helpful, and to be honest, my main goal with this sheet is not to be too prescriptive, even though it is quite sort of educational and explanatory. It's all about stimulating ideas really. So let's just say you roll for a few bits and bobs using the tables and you realise actually I don't want to use any of this. I can think of things on my own now, and that's great. It's all about kind of unlocking the ideation and I suppose, yeah, coming up with your own ideas as well. And if you also want to stick to what you've rolled on the table, that's also really good. So yeah, it's a very flexible little worksheet. It's not designed to be do this, do that, and you'll have a great story and game. It's more about kind of workshopping, dare I say, and kind of, just to help you along. But if you want it to be super prescriptive, it can be. So yeah, that's the idea behind it. I've got 2 versions. I've got one that's more sort of parchmenty. So that could be used maybe on a tablet because it looks quite pretty. But if you do want to print it out and save your ink, I'll be making one with a plain white background. So yeah, there won't be any sort of, I suppose, grayscale and parchment effect to print out there. So yeah, that's going up end of the month, and on there already I have my D100 Tudor adventure sheet. So there are 100 options for character traits, occupations, and little adventure hooks. So it took me a wee while because there are actually 100 options of each. There are no ranges. And yes, I did a lot of research on, say, the different incomes of people of that time. And obviously you have like the lower, poorer classes, middle classes, slightly more educated, maybe like lawyers, work in the church. And then you have like nobility and the royals and incredibly, incredibly wealthy people of the time. So yeah, it covers that whole spectrum. Yeah, in terms of occupations and even the hooks as well. Like some hooks would maybe, or seem on the surface, more suited to a setting where you're talking about a royal family. But let's just say, the occupation you roll is, I don't know, like a street cleaner of sorts. That would make a really nice juxtaposition if, this street cleaner that finds themselves in a sort of royal scandal. So yeah, so much potential there. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That is also a standalone on my Patreon as well at the minute for £10 if you just want to have a look and you don't have to subscribe. I'm debating whether to put my conflict worksheet up as a standalone purchase also for £10. Alternatively, what you could also do, I shouldn't really say this, but I think you could join for a month or just cancel for like £6.50 and download both if you want to do that. Way more cost effective. But don't quote me on that. I don't know Patreon's terms and conditions, but I imagine you could do that. So yeah, if you want to just get a vibe and only spend £6.50 and get both of them, go for it. So yeah, I've also got a free tier where I'm going to be posting sort of more bloggy content. So hopefully by the end of this week, which is tomorrow, or early next week, I'll have a post up there about my experience of playing 1,000-year-old vampire. And I'll link to my video on that as well in the little post, because it's quite good for, I think, having activity on Patreon itself. People may just find me on there as well and get to exposure to the YouTube channel as well, which is quite cool. I've also got a few ideas for shorts that I'm brainstorming. So I've got a new camera and a new green screen behind me that will make filming a lot easier because we are working in a tiny environment. And having a green screen backdrop can be quite difficult when there's no room for it. So I'm hoping to hang it on a different wall, let's say, so my cloth green screen wouldn't work. So yeah, that's coming along well. Just lots to think about. As I'm not used to making shorts, to be honest. I very much lean towards longer form content. So it is a new challenge for me, but a necessary one. And I do enjoy making them. I've just got to change the way how I think about it. But yeah, I'm planning to make my shorts between 30 seconds and a minute. Because I think that's also still the most popular range of time that people watch. And also, given that some of my longer form videos are as short as some of them are 5 minutes, I think my Zigig story circle one was just over 5 minutes. It's very succinct but packed full of information. Yeah, that's not that much longer than some shorts these days. I mean, TikTok goes up to 10 minutes now. So yes, there's probably some TikToks that are longer than my long form videos. So yes, doing that as well. And I think that's about it for now. But yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow and let you know how I get on. Hello everyone, it's the next day. So today I am prepping my Dracula Curse of the Vampire game. So to show you my sort of setup, I have the book, some really nice on theme black and red playing cards, blood splatter dice, miniature to set the mood, and I've also got printouts of the adventure sheet, which I'm going to learn how to get to grips with, nice notebook, and a pen. So with things like this, I don't actually like typing up on a computer. I find when I'm learning a new game, it goes in a bit quicker into my brain if I handwrite things. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I don't know how long it will take me, probably an hour maybe, I'm not sure. Depends on how complex a game is. But yeah, so I think I'll leave that there. And yeah, the next video you'll see will be me playing the game. So yeah, I hope you found this video enjoyable. A little bit of behind the scenes about what I get up to day. My mic just ran out of battery then, so I've just plugged it in. So yeah, again, if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, there will be more. I will be making these, I think, during the week as I'm setting my games up. And it also holds me accountable as well. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.